Welcome to the Sonia Buchanan Show, where we inspire one life, one smile at a time. Welcome to the Sonia Buchanan Show, where we inspire one life, one smile at a time. Listen, you all, I want to present something this week that I try to avoid, but I want to come to you because I want my opinion and my feelings about it. And I want to talk about the Montgomery Alabama Brawl. But today, our show is going to be called Fighting the Respected Kind of Way. Yes, that's what I named it. But listen, I am going to dive into the subject right after this commercial. So stay tuned and come back and join us and listen. I will be right back.
Hey everyone! Have you ever had a day that you planned to accomplish a gazillion of things, but distractions interrupted your commitment and you achieved nothing? There's a perfect solution to the madness. Try journaling on your busiest days. We offer 6 amazing cool designs of journal entry journals starting at $5.99. These journals are designed to improve your goal productivity. So what are you waiting for? Order now at comfortingpromises.com. Click on the eStore tab. Your day will be happier you did.
Welcome back to the Sonia Buchanan Show, where we inspire one life, one smile at a time. Listen, you guys, again, our name of the show is Fighting the Respected Kind of Way. I wanted to name that because I want to talk about a couple of things that I felt when I saw the brawl. Everyone is seeing the brawl. In fact, they have re-skit the brawl, which was amazing. I have laughed so hard. Although this is a serious brawl, this is a serious situation, but the more and more I dive into the characteristics of everyone is redoing the skit of what happened between the men with the boats in Montgomery, Alabama. But I want to talk to you guys about what I felt when I saw that. Because I never watch fights, but I looked at it and I said, what kind of brawl is this? There's no guns, there's no police officers, people are just coming out of the woodworks and running to help this guy. And the more and more I tuned in, I was discovering what was really happening, finding out that the black gentleman was the captain of the larger boat. And but the whole scenario, when I saw that, the first thing that I took note of is that there was no guns. They were actually fighting with their fist, which to me, I feel like this is how fights and disagreements should happen all the time. Of course, people do not, they don't, push fighting, but I would rather have fights, okay, than guns. No one died in this fight. No one died in this allocation. Everyone is like fighting for their team and, this is my disagreement. No, I'm not moving my boat for your boat, And I know it was probably based on racism, but to me, I felt like that it brought me back in the 80s, when people really did fight because they were mad at each other and they were angry. And now we have in the 2000s, okay, that everyone's picking up a gun. To me, I feel like people who are shooting because of the anger and picking up guns are cowards. Put down your gun and fight your disagreement. I felt so warm. I know it's kind of distorted. It is a distorted thought process, but I felt so warm about that whole fight. You have the guys who people considered the white men fighting the black people, and it's like this brawl, honestly, if you think about the history of Montgomery, Alabama, the racism is very thick still there. And I really truly believe that this fight needed to happen. And it needed to happen visually around the world. And the way people are not serious about anything. I was on one of the media sites and someone's already come up with stickers to put on your window, on your car window, with someone holding up the chair, okay? And the guy holding up the chair, and it's this symbol of a chair. And they have these stickers. They come in black, white, and red. Oh my God, I can't, black, white, and red. Come on now. It is amazing. And I laugh at all this because this is funny. But the part that I was just so warm about is that they were fighting their disagreement. They were fighting, not fighting a disagreement. They were fighting with a lot of things that they needed to take a brawl and fight against each other. When I saw the guy swimming across the lake trying to help the black guy, the captain of that boat. I was more warm. He says, no, I'm fighting. I got to go help my brother. And to me, I just felt really warm about this whole brawl. And I know I'm not the only one who was feeling warm. Back in the day, we fought our disagreement. And the best man won who had the best punches, And of course, we saw, I'm not going to say who the best man won, but, it was obvious. You're not going to come against this. It's just like all this anger, just maybe that's what they needed. And to me, I feel like we should encourage more fights, okay? Not to say that this is something that is legal, but we should encourage more fights than encourage guns. Don't you all feel much better that no one died? Despite the racism, despite the disagreement, despite the superiority. But aren't you just really feeling just excited the fact that no one died, okay? No one died. There was not one gunshot. With all the people that was involved, the standby who was watching, the person that was filming, the people that were fighting, no one pulled out a gun. We have to commend that first, okay? So let's go to the second part that I want to talk about. Of course, the guy is swimming across this lake trying to help his teammate, which is black, because this is a black and white or either rebellion, superiority, whatever it is. He was fighting and he was going and helped the captain of the boat, of the bigger boat. I know you guys felt just so warm about that. Now, let's get to the part with the young lady who got hit upside the head with the chair. Okay, I want to talk about that because everyone is looking at this lady. This guy is hitting this woman in the head with a chair. That woman shouldn't have not been involved in the brawl. Every woman who knows men, lingo, they do not get involved with men fighting against each other. You don't just step into the ring with men fighting, because when that happens, there is a rule, a lingo, a understanding with men when they're fighting. You don't get involved with that. Women should stay and just be a cheerleader on the side. This is why they have football and the cheerleaders on the side cheering for them. That is a rule. I'm sorry. That woman got hit upside the head. In their mind, in that situation, in those emotions, she's part of the fight. And I know they're not gonna understand that, because we live in a different culture, thinking, oh, he's a woman. See, in a man's field, in a man's cage, and you run yourself in that cage, you're part of the cage. And there's no rule except that one rule that men have when they're fighting. Do not, women, if you think that you're going to step into a fight with men fighting and you're going to help, don't do that, because there's a rule. Everyone knows this rule. The other women that you saw on the sidelines cheering, they knew about that rule. This one particular woman who got hit upside the head with that chair, obviously she didn't understand the rule. This is what happens when you understand the rule. Let me tell you, a couple of years ago, well, many years ago, my cousin, he was playing at LSU. He was basketball. He's 6'7". He comes home from Atlanta, and we go to this gym where they play basketball. And so we're gathering up teammates, and I'm part of his team. So it's 6 guys on each side, on each team. So I'm part of this team with him. And he whispered, and he says, you realize there's no rules in this game, okay? They don't see you as a female. They see you as the other player, and they're trying to win. I said, I can handle it. I can handle it. So I'm part of playing basketball in the team. And when those jokers, and I'm tell you something, he's 6'7", they were maybe 6'4", 6'5", and I'm the shortest one. So I'm going to play basketball with all these men, 6 and 6, okay? And once we start playing basketball, and he was absolutely right, they did not see me as a woman. They tore me up. Of course, my cousin was trying to, cover me and comfort me. I said, just move out the way. I'm just going to just play rough like that, because there's no rules. Once I entered into playing basketball with those men that was 6'4" to 6'7", there was no rule. They didn't see me as a woman. I came out with my hair all everywhere, punches everywhere. I were towed up. They did not see me. They saw, I'm going to win. I'm on this team and you're on that team. You're not a woman. They didn't care anything about that. And I can guarantee you one thing. I learned a lot of things about that. I never did that again. I never played basketball with a team of men because they don't see you as a woman. They see you as a teammate and they are going to win. This is the same thing with this woman that got hit upside the head with a chair. There is a rule and a lingo that men operate when they are competing with each other. And if you cannot handle it as a woman, then you do not need to be involved in that area, in that circle. This is why women are not playing football on the football team with the NFL. It makes sense. I tell you what, I will never do that again. And I'm sure this woman will never do that again. Now the guy who did that now is arrested because of this woman did not understand the rule of men when you are competing and when you are fighting. And for women who do not know that rule, know that rule. Ask your significant others what the rule is when you're in competing. Do they see you as a woman? They don't have time to try to sit there and try to take care of you when they're in a brawl or fighting or competing and want to win. You know, best man win, you know. They don't want to do that. And so now the young lady, because she was in a role that she did not understand, that she did not need to be there trying to help. This wasn't even about a woman. This was about a brawl, men fighting against what was right in the circumstances. And she just involved herself and got hit upside the head. That is when the police stopped the fight, because the police was around watching them fight. Now, I saw that. I said, the police is there watching this fight and they're allowing them to fight their anger with each other. It was managed until that woman got hit upside the head with the chair. And I wondered about that because now there's a joke about the chair and the guy holding the chair. I know this is not something to laugh about, but all honestly, everybody understands the rules when men are fighting, a rule when men are competing. And this is what happens. Take it. Take it if you want to be involved in men competitions. Take it, because you just elevated yourself as this alpha male. I'm gonna help my man out. What you're gonna get is beat up, because they don't see that. But that was just my viewpoint of the fight. And then the guys, the white men, are just, if the other black men did not come and save this captain, the black captain, he would have gotten beat up. And then this would be a whole nother scenario. But I was so proud of the Montgomery, Alabama people went and saved the day because they made it equal. And like I stated, the police officers or the security guards that was there was managing the fight. And I was just so proud of it. I don't know. It just brought me back to yesterday. And I just felt this kind of feeling like maybe this is the start of healing, you know. I felt that. I felt that this brawl in Montgomery, Alabama was a healing process for our nation, so that we can vicariously think about actually really what happened. How were we feeling? Well, I'm giving you my portion of how I felt. I felt as though that this fight was needed between the blacks and the whites. And maybe it was needed for the healing because, like I stated, Montgomery, Alabama, they're still dealing with thick racism. And to me, I feel like that this is a part of healing, and it needed to happen. It needed to happen in the face of the world, social media, and how we felt about it, and how we are excited about the fight. And I'm excited about the fight because no one got killed. No one got shot. They fought like men. They fought like real men that should have fought like real men years ago. And maybe this was a time where it erupted like a volcano and they fought. I'm so glad. And one of the things that I'm really hoping that while the white men are in jail, and if they are racism and they dealing with racism, maybe they give it time to think about really what took place. Like I said, I don't get emotional about fights in a good kind of way, but this fight this time was a good kind of fight, you know. And I wanted to just give my opinion about the fight, and I welcome anyone to challenge me or talk to me about it or leave a comment. But one of the things that I want to talk about also is the root of what is racism. The root of racism is, because you have to start at the root. I'm sorry, you guys. The root of racism is basically insuperiority. It's an insuperiority complex. You feel like that you're superior over another person, over another race, that you're better. And you have to dig deep and find out, why do I feel superior over this person because they're black? Where does that come from? Once you realize it's a superiority complex, and you can find out how you can go and uproot that in you. Why do you feel that way? And who told you that you were superior because this person over here is black? We're dealing with this not only in Montgomery, Alabama, we're dealing with it, a silent superiority. You know, I deal with it all the time. I see people all the time with superiority. But the problem comes in how I receive it is that I feel like I'm royalty, you know. Like a lot of other folks feel like they're royalty. Like a lot of people feel, I don't know why you feel superior. See, I receive it different than most of my counterparts. I feel like that they have a problem. I don't feel like I have a problem. When racism is coming towards me, I don't feel like that their racism is my problem. That's something they have to deal with. I don't have to deal with that energy. And so it's not received because of the way I am confident in who I am and what I can serve. Superiority complex doesn't always have a backfire with black and white. Superiority is a complex that happens with black people, educated and non-educated, the poor and the rich. Superiority is the face of mankind when you feel like that you're better than anyone. It doesn't always have a face with black and white, or a face with Asian and black, or Asian and white. It doesn't always have the face of race when it comes to that. It can have face of financial. It can have a race of who's driving a better car. But superiority is a problem. And so if you're dealing with superiority, that you feeling like you're better than someone else, then you are in that category, or you are in that room with the racism, with the rich and poor, with the child who's lighter skin and darker skin, all of it. You're all in the same room together. It's called superiority. That's the root of it. And so I feel like that if you are dealing with that, you should take note, and you should take inventory of why do you feel at a time that you better than someone and you deserve better, because that is so not true. That's an issue that you have to deal with. And if you are treating someone in that disrespect, then you really should just think about, why do you feel superior? It could be an insecure issue. You know, I think it's an insecure issue that you have within yourself. So you bring yourself a little higher above someone else because of your insecurities. It helps you feel healed and not broken. And any advice, if you don't give a resolution from it, I feel like that if you are dealing with insecurities or inferiority issues, allow yourself to be broken. Face the brokenness first. And then you can look at the pieces that you have faced. And then that's when healing began to start. And then that is when superiority that is within you will be removed. Other than that, you're still going to be walking around, and you may end up being in a brawl, just like we just saw in Montgomery, Alabama, fighting against someone that you feel like, I don't have to move my boat because I'm superior than you are, even though the captain boat was bigger, but you still decide, I'm not going to move this because I'm having this. And if you feel like, and if you have received a business that's making a lot of money, if you receive money that's making a lot of money, if you moved in a bigger house that's making a lot of money, and superiority have come into your character, you have an insecure issue trying to prove something to someone And it's not proving anything to anyone. It's proving to yourself, because somewhere down the line, someone told you you are nothing. And so you have to really evaluate, where is this superiority complex is coming from? I know I ended up in a serious situation, of course, because superiority is going to ruin your life if you don't deal with it. And thank God, like I stated, no one got shot in this situation because of superiority issues, okay? But honestly, this is going to be a short message. I just wanted to talk about the Montgomery Alabama Brawl, which I am so proud of the guys who was involved. Of course, it was not safe, but it was needed, because to me, the brawl was a type of brokenness, and it was shown all around the globe. And maybe now the pieces can be picked up and find out and be healed and learn from this brawl. You guys, I don't know about you, but I was so proud of all of them fighting their anger and whatever. And that guy, the captain, when he threw up his hat, I'm still trying to figure out, why did he throw up his hat? You know, I don't know where that came from, but I'm sure someone is going to explain the reason why the captain took off his hat. Maybe it was something because he was the captain of that rowboat, and he took off his hat as a salute, and then he put up his deuces, you know? You guys, I was so excited! I was so excited about the brawl. I don't know about you, but this is the beginning of healing. And of course, we need to be healed from this mess, okay? Because there is equal opportunity going forth after this. But listen, you guys, this is the end of my show. I just wanted to make it a little fun for you today, and how I felt about the brawl, because I wasn't going to talk about it. Okay, I was not going to talk about this brawl, but it needed to be talked about because I perceive things different, okay? But going forward, you guys, put down the gun. Put down your guns and fight your anger. I'm not, first of all, those are going to say, don't encourage fighting. Baby, if I had the choice to pick one or two, guns or fights, I'm choosing fights. Fight. Fight your anger. Fight, and the best man will win. That's all I got to say. Fight, because see, I will fight you. I'm past that age, but I will fight you. If need be, I will fight you. In fact, I like fighting. But I'm past that age. And I know some of you enjoy fighting too, because sometimes people need to be beat up, or you need to be beat up. One of the two. But put down the guns. Let's not have any more shootings. Let's just have more brawls. Yeah, that's better. Because it entertains us very much so. Because you're like wanting one person to win and another person to win. And you're like, yeah, get him. This is kind of like that movie Rocky. You know how Rocky won? Everyone loved that movie. That is a historic movie, okay? But anyway, I know I'm battling. But again, put down your guns. 2023-24. 2023-2024. Put down your guns and put up your deuces. Okay? Hey, listen, you guys. Thank you for joining us this week. And we are going to have a great day and a great week and the rest of the great month, okay? This is your girl, Sonya Buchanan, with the Sonya Buchanan Show. And until next week, see ya! Thank you for joining our podcast today. The podcast was produced and edited by Sonya Buchanan. For more information about the host, you can go to sonyabuchanan.com. For information about Confident Promises broadcast community, you can go to confidentpromises.com.